Hi friends, how are you? My name is Dr. Jahadi, your current TCA president, fellow chiropractor from Cedar Park, Texas, Northwest Austin. And I want to welcome you guys to the TCA Virtual Town Hall, where we're going to have a great conversation about the new strategic plan with the TCA. But before we get started, I want to introduce our panelists. We have an awesome panel for you guys today, kind of the current and the future of our profession here. Two of my favorite chiropractors in the state of Texas. And first, I'd like to introduce our current vice president, our president-elect, our chiropractor from Houston, Texas, Dr. Alayna Pagnani, who is going to be the second woman breaking all kind of glass ceilings with TCA president coming up in June of 2021. Dr. Alayna?
Everyone, I'm so excited to share what TCA has been up to the last couple of months, planning our new strategic plan. We're really excited to get this going and make TCA awesome for all the chiropractors and our patients of Texas.
And I'm also joined today by my buddy from south of Austin, our very own Dr. Bill Lawson, who is currently our secretary treasurer and our vice president-elect. Dr. Lawson?
Hey guys, welcome to our virtual town hall. It's a pleasure to serve and to be on this panel tonight. And I'm looking forward to telling everybody what it is that we have to look forward to with the TCA over the next couple of years.
Excellent. Now, before we get started, let's tell you guys how we kind of came about with this. A lot of time, effort, energy by a lot of TCA leadership has gone into this. And I'd like to first start off with thank all those chiropractors that you guys see on your screen. Every one of them has put in endless hours throughout the months of August, September, and then a lot of follow-up calls. I believe during the month of August, we had 6 meetings, each one of them 2 to 3 hours long. September, we had a couple, and we've had one more since then. So thank you to all the doctors and the time that you guys have put in, the effort you guys have put in. We're really, really excited, and a special thanks. Also like to give a special thanks to Mr. Barron, who was also a good friend of ours and came down from, what state is he from? Anyway, he came all the way down to Texas from whatever state. It wasn't Texas, that's all that matters. And he helped us with the strategic plan, and we are really excited about the outcome and how it's really chiropractic focused and really geared around building every one of the chiropractic practices and a mission that we feel that every single chiropractor can get behind, regardless if you're a student, you're a current member, you're wanting to become a member and you're a future member, or maybe you've just been a TCA member in the past and there was some things that you weren't happy about and you've kind of skipped out. I think you'll love this new direction, and we look forward to welcoming you back to the TCA fold and having you back as a member and helping us grow the profession here in the state. With that, let's jump right into it. Why wait? I'm excited. I can't wait to tell you guys about this. So I'm going to go ahead and hand it off to Dr. Alayna, who's going to tell you guys about the first goal, and then Dr. Lawson is going to kind of break it down for us. Dr. Alayna?
Okay, goal number 1 is educate Texans about the value of chiropractic and get more patients into chiropractic offices. So how are we going to do this? We are going to create a website and a landing page where we can let our patients or potential patients know about chiropractic. You're going to have videos and information about how chiropractic might be able to help them. And this is going to be for the general public. So it's going to be pretty basic, but very informative about chiropractic and how we can help with anything that they're dealing with. The other thing that we're going to do is have a Find the Doc directory on this website. And so when patients are looking about how chiropractic might be able to help them, maybe they're interested in getting care, they'll be able to click on this link and find a chiropractor in their area. And this is really going to embrace our TCA members. So we encourage you to be a member so that you can be on this website. The other thing that we're going to do is build a library of infographics, and we're going to feature patients, celebrities, politicians, veterans, anyone that we know who has really benefited from chiropractic care. We want everyone to know how much chiropractic can help. We want to share the message to the public And we want to do that by making it fun and informative. We also want to take these videos and share conditions that maybe they don't realize chiropractic care can help with, such as tennis elbow or vertigo or pregnancy. But most patients know that we are the go-to providers for low back conditions, but we want them to realize that we're the go-to providers for other things that maybe they just haven't thought chiropractic would be beneficial for them. So what we're going to need from you is to submit videos, submit testimonials, and stay tuned to find out how exactly we're going to have you do that. There will be some sort of rubric and guideline, but we're looking forward to seeing how your patients and anyone that you might know have benefited from chiropractic care, so we can share that with everyone.
So Doc, tell us a little bit about this. It sounds really amazing. Obviously I do know about this, but it is amazing. I was excited when I heard about it. So tell us a little bit about these videos. Are these going to be kind of doctor-led videos? Are these ran by TCA members? Are these kind of patients? What's the vision for this?
It's going to be a little bit of everything. So we want you to submit whatever you have that you might find valuable, or that you think other people want to see, or something, a story that you really want to share. And we're going to put it together and put it where we need it. So one month we might be featuring something on headaches, another month on pregnancy, another month maybe on decompression therapy. But whatever we have in our library of videos, we'll be able to pull from and use. And this will be coming from you guys. So it's important that you share this with your patients, share it with your colleagues, so that we have a big library that we can use.
Tell us a little bit about the Find a Doctor app that you were mentioning as well. That sounds really exciting. I think, all of us as TCA members, obviously want to kind of get seen. And I've heard even that there may be kind of opportunities where you can pay for upgraded and, bigger kind of opportunities. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. Currently, our TCA website does have a Find a Doc link. However, that's not really easily accessible to the public. And so this website that we have is going to be generated specifically for the public and for potential patients. It's going to be easy. We're always on forums and things saying, where's a doc here, where's a doc there? But what we want to do is make it easily accessible for other people to just Google, a chiropractor. Our main website will pop up in Texas about Texas Chiropractic, and then there'll be a main link for Find the Docs. And of course, if you're a member, you're going to be listed higher. If you're a premium or elite member, maybe listed even higher on that website. So potential patients are finding you.
So this is awesome. So instead of paying some random, third-party vendor to kind of get my name out there, hoping they're going to do it, basically I get to pay and become a member, support my profession, and then in return, I get to get my, my business kind of promoted.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
SEO. People are going to find you. It's a win-win for everyone.
Love it. I love it. All right. Let's keep this great news going. All right. So we're going to jump into goal number 2. And we have Dr. Bill Lawson, who's going to, I believe, present that one to us.
I sure am. Thanks, Alayna, for sharing that first goal. That's going to be so exciting when we get some breakthrough on that. That's a wonderful goal. Thank you. Goal number 2 is building relationships to educate insurance companies with the goal of securing higher reimbursements and better coverage for our patients.
Did I hear you say better reimbursements, Doc?
I said that, better reimbursements.
I love that.
That's our goal. Anybody who's been in practice for any amount of time has seen what's happened over the years, and we want to stop that and try to reverse this trend. And we have some ways of doing that. And I'm going to share those with you. But along with this goal number 2, we have 2 different types of insurance companies that we're going to primarily deal with, and that's ERISA plans and non-ERISA plans. And a quick breakdown of that is an ERISA plan is basically a company that's self-funded. I use the model of H-E-B, grocery store. Everybody knows of H-E-B. They're a self-funded ERISA plan carrier for their employees. And they currently only allow 6 visits of chiropractic care for the year. So if you get that patient on January 1, every bit of that money goes towards deductible. They have a large deductible plan. 84% of insurance in Texas outside of governmentalized insurance is ERISA. 16% is non-ERISA, meaning general Blue Cross Humana, Aetna, things like that. Under the ERISA plan, that 84% self-funded, those are also administered by Blue Cross, Aetna, Humana, and the other big insurance companies. They're just funded a little differently. The employer has the right to negotiate which each code is reimbursed. So our goal is to educate these HR personnel and the executives of these big businesses and let them know what the research is showing, that chiropractic care is more cost effective, keep their patients healthier longer, possibly prevent some injuries in the future. So we have a call to action for our members that's going to be coming out. And we want to know any connections that our members may have, or not just our members, any chiropractor in Texas who may be listening to this or watching this. Do you have any connections with any insurance providers, such as provider reps, or maybe the upper echelon of executives within an insurance company? Are you treating them as patients? Is your cousin one of these people, etc.? We'll then take the information that we gain from you and see if we can set up a meeting. We'll work with some of our partners that we've reached out to help us negotiate for these better rates and show them the benefits of chiropractic care. This process has already started. We've had a meeting, 2 meetings now, with Blue Cross Blue Shield, and gave them some additional information. And we're looking forward to hearing back from them again to have our 3rd meeting. The TCA Leadership and Insurance Relation Committee is the branch of the TCA that's working together to get the meetings set up with these insurance, HR, and executives. So we got our hands full. We're looking for a little help from you guys.
Well, Doc, you mentioned you're looking for if we have connections with people in the insurance companies. What specifically do you mean? What are you specifically looking for?
Well, if there is a chiropractor in the community that's treating, let's say, the manager of provider relations or personnel within provider relations of Humana Insurance in their city, and they have a good relationship. If that doctor says to the patient that that a state organization or her state organization would like to set up a meeting to discuss care plans for their patients as it pertains to chiropractic within the state, if the provider gets the okay from the patient and shares the information, the TCA then can reach out and schedule a meeting and spread the good word and get our foot in the door that way. It beats cold calling. So if we already have a connection, we get a better opportunity to get our foot in the door.
What if a doctor has a relationship with, or at least knows one of these people, has a direct contact? They may not have a relationship, but they know kind of a direct contact to one of these individuals. Is that still helpful for you? And is that information that you would still want? Yes,
sir, that's very helpful. And we do want that information. If you have any contact within the insurance arena, that's one avenue that would be very helpful to us. For us just to grab a listing of insurance personnel and start cold calling, that's a little tough sell. But if we have a contact and this contact knows the doctor, it makes it much easier for us to get in. And what's the best way to get that information to you guys? Let's say I know that individual and I want to, partner up with you to get this moving for our profession. What's the best way to connect, Doc? The easiest way is to contact the TCA office. You can certainly email me personally that information, and I can disseminate the information accordingly as well. Excellent, excellent. And the TCA information, if you don't already have it, I'm sure the office right now is probably putting it into the chat box. And also, before we keep going, I apologize, I forgot to tell you guys this. There's a Q&A button. If you guys have any questions along the way about these slides or anything that we're discussing, or maybe we haven't discussed, feel free to put it in the Q&A.
and we'll try to answer those in between the slides. If you see your answer didn't get, your question didn't get answered, it may be because we're going to address it further down in one of the other PowerPoints. So please just stay tuned, and if we haven't answered at the end, we will answer all the questions as we go through. Sorry, Doc, continue on. This is great stuff.
All right. Well, we talked about ERISA there for a little bit, and I'm going to finish off the ERISA plan with basically letting the doctors on the line know that our goal with this, again, to get in to the HR or the administrators of the plan, and to show them a PowerPoint that we're putting together that shows them the efficacy of chiropractic care, the cost savings when it comes time to treat neuromusculoskeletal problems that they may have, and how we may overall save them money and keep their employees in the workplace. And we'll move on then to the non-ERISA plans, and that is the general insurance companies, as most people think. They're not self-funded. They are a company that has established their reimbursement rates, et cetera. For example, the Blue Cross Blue Shield plan that I'd mentioned that we've already had discussions with, they come up with the rate as to how much a code should be reimbursed per area, and that's based on some criteria that they may have that's existing in their database. Our mission there is to show them the same thing we're showing the ERISA folks, how we are cost effective, how we probably save them, and not probably, we do save them thousands and thousands of dollars throughout the year if we can avoid somebody getting premature surgery without having tried chiropractic care. All this research that's been published over the past 4 or 5 years, and it's quite voluminous, lots of research out there showing how good that we really are at treating neuromusculoskeletal conditions. We want to expand on this and get them to see our value. And again, we're shooting for better reimbursement and get our fees back up to where they need to be, closer to where they need to be. And again, we're going to need chiropractors' help for that. So if you treat anybody in a business, a good-sized business, again, I'm going to use HEB as the model. I'm stuck on HEB, but they're a big company, and their main HR is in San Antonio, and we're working on getting access with them to educate them on what it is that we do. People hear chiropractor, they think I'm going to get my back cracked, and that's as far as it goes. And in HEB's case, they don't give much more value than that to us. And it's very disheartening when somebody comes in with a disc problem and you get 6 visits to take care of it. And you're going to do your best, but you're probably going to need more than that. So we're going to show them how they can cut down on spending their money, they're self-funded, on surgeries and epidurals and things such as this. So if you treat a patient who may be an executive in a major business or in HR of that major business, again, if you can share that information, of course, get approval from the patient, or maybe one of these people's is your sister-in-law or brother-in-law. If you could share that information so that we're not cold calling, it really would help us out and make it easier for us to get our foot in the door with these businesses.
So let me get the clarity, Doc. So what you're saying, the TCA is going to spend its time, its resources to talk to major corporations and insurance companies to improve reimbursement and change their insurance policies to improve chiropractic care for our doctors.
You understood me very clearly. Yes, sir. That's it.
That's
the TCA
awesome.
is due.
I love that. I love that. Bring on the patients.
Yes.
Now, Doc, got a random question, and I think I know the answer, but I'm going to ask this. So how would this help me? Let's say, not every goal is going to help every doctor, but, most of our goals help most people. If I'm in a cash practice, how is this going to affect me?
Well, if you're in a cash practice and not accepting insurance in any way, the word still gets mentioned. If we're exposing chiropractic to the masses, people are going to go to whom they want to go to. So you're a cash provider, I'm an insurance provider. You're closer to them, their cousin sees you, they just heard about you at work, they're probably going to go to you and pay cash for you to be treated. So it expands our reach by word of mouth.
Nice. I think there's a famous saying, high tide raises all boats or something like that. Yeah, very cool. Very, very cool. I love that. And then Doc, you mentioned also, and then actually let me backtrack real quick, because I would also assume as a cash practice, as the insurance rates go up, that kind of increases the rates for everybody throughout the state, including the cash practice as well. So given it a year or two, once the rate increase, cash practices should see the benefit because of it as well, indirectly, I would assume, correct?
Sure, you can give yourself a raise as well, you bet.
Raises. Very nice, very nice. And then Doc, you had in here about the PowerPoint. I saw the PowerPoint you had put together, which was phenomenal, but kind of tell us a little bit about the PowerPoint and kind of what it's made to do and how we're going to use that.
Sure. The PowerPoint presentation is basically shows the research, or some of the research that has been conducted over the past few years, some of the information that the ACA has provided over the past few years as well, and does a little comparison of costs and does a comparison of risks. The risk information comes from malpractice insurance companies. We all know what we pay for malpractice compared to a family practice doctor. We pay a fraction of what they pay, and we really pay a much lesser amount than what a surgeon or a pain management doctor pays. So we show all this, and we show through the PowerPoint, the efficacy of the care that we provide and how we do it. The patient satisfaction rates that are out there, we're always higher in the patient satisfaction arena than any other provider. And we show that to them in a very quick, concise format, so that we're not going to over inundate with tons of information. We're going to let them see right at the end what we do and how effective we are at doing it.
Doc, I think you had a nice little, just a very condensed flyer or pamphlet that kind of went with this as well. Is there not?
Yes, we put together, based on the meetings that we had with Blue Cross Blue Shield, we put together a PowerPoint and demonstrated with them what we do. And we took that information from the PowerPoint and put it into a trifold brochure. And so that information can be passed out as well.
So if I'm a local doc, it's not a huge corporation, but I have maybe a company with 10, 15 people. It's not going to help everybody in the state, but it's something I like to take advantage of. Would I be able to contact, if I'm a member, would I be able to contact TCA and get some of these resources to be able to use and duplicate the information?
Sure. Yeah, that's available to our members.
Excellent. So this is not just kind of unique to us. This is something that our members can get advantage and take advantage of as well.
Correct. We're making this available to all the Texas Chiropractic Association members.
I love it. And then Doc, also in this goal, I heard you talk a lot about increasing reimbursement and payment, but there wasn't a lot about talk about coverage. Is that because of the bill that TCA passed last session that basically prevented discrimination? And is that why we're not discussing that this go around?
Exactly. The bill that was passed last session is taking care of that coverage question. However, on the ERISA plans, the writer of that plan can still put limitations within, so that will be addressed within the ERISA arena.
And I think that's because one is covered and kind of controlled by the state, the other one is not. Is that why we can only kind of, the law only influences one and not the other?
That's correct.
Okay. Tell us, if you mind just real quickly, tell us a little bit about that law, because that was pretty, you know, I know we were all focused on neuro and we were kind of bummed that didn't happen, but that was a really historic law that TCA was able to pass last session. And I don't think any other state has a similar law, which really protects chiropractors from, you know, discrimination against insurance companies. Do you mind just kind of giving us a quick, you know, 1 or 2 sentences about kind of what that bill did?
Well, the bill is an insurance equality law in that if the service is covered and it's being paid by a different flavor of doctor performing that service, then we too, as chiropractors, are to be paid for that service. And we all know the 97140 code and how that is constantly being denied for reasons that I think sometimes the carriers make up. If they're paid to an MD or a PT, they're supposed to be paid then to us as well. And now there's rules to that code. You can't perform it on the same area where you do a manipulation, et cetera. But as long as you document it correctly, it now has to be paid correctly. That's a good example of that bill.
Nice. So they basically can't create extra rules that discriminate against chiropractors for doing the same service.
Correct.
Awesome. Awesome. One of the many great things TCA has done for our profession.
Yes.
Sorry, Doc, let's continue. This is great stuff.
Sure. Some clarification on the PowerPoint and the brochure. These will all be made public after the first of the year. We're tightening everything up now. We've used them one time. We're tightening up the loose ends, and they'll all be made available after the first of the year. All right, let's move on here. Still in goal number 2. Nope. Where are we?
I think we're done with that goal.
We're done with number 2.
Else.
Let's move on to number 3. Goal number 3 is another really exciting goal, and this is the one that puts the smile on Dr. Mo's face. Leveraging relationships with elected officials and corporate or business communities to advance chiropractic. And it puts a smile on Dr. Mo's face because he is constantly out there working for us with the legislative fellas in all over the state, not just in Austin, but primarily he's here working that avenue. So he gets excited when we start talking about legislatures. Anyhow, so we're going to, again, have a request for our membership on information concerning you possibly have treated a state senator or a state legislator, a person of influence, some other kind of politician, a judge or something like that. We would like to utilize that in a way that we could build stronger connections with these people, the people who directly impact our profession by writing bills that could enhance what we do and bring us to a better status than where we are. We're always looking to something to gain us a little bit of traction. So if you're treating a politician, a judge, a person of influence in that arena, that's something we would like to know. If your relative is one of these people, again, with their permission, if you could share that information, we're going to compile a master list of doctors who have these connections with legislatures. And it will allow us to reach out to those legislatures and expand the overall number of meets and greets that we have for the candidates with our political action committee fundraiser and events such as that. So if you guys are currently treating any of these folks, or your neighbor is a state rep or a judge or a senator or somebody of influence in that arena, feel free to, with their permission, of course, to pass their names along, and we'll compile this list and possibly reach out and have a meet and greet and get to know these people a little bit more. It's for our advantage.
It was exciting, Doc. So we found out last session a little bit on this, little side note. We actually found out that there's now 2 legislators at the Capitol that one has a sister and one has a brother that are practicing chiropractic here in the state of Texas. So It's always good to know that because obviously they care about the profession and they see something there. And that's why their family is part of the profession. So.
Right.
So Doc, also seeing there about the Meet the Candidates. We had a lot of calls. There was all these posts about Meet the Candidates. What was that? What was going on? What's the purpose of it?
Well, that was, I hope that you folks listening or watching, I hope that you got to participate in one or two of those. We had many. We met so many senators and state reps this past month. It was wonderful. Every Tuesday night and every Thursday night, and sometimes they went on for hours. It was wonderful to get to meet these people, and they genuinely have a concern for us. We have so many friends now in the Texas legislature. It's just wonderful to see that. They're all fond of us. Many of them are patients in chiropractic offices. Some of you guys listening or watching, they're your patients, and you've shared their information with us. So we really appreciate that. It's a great way to hear their opinions on the state in general, and to see how they may lean towards some of our interests, some of the bills that we want to run through. See, what is their opinion? How strong do they feel our bill has merit? Would they be willing to fight for us? How friendly are they to us? So we got the opportunity to do that over 20 times over the past month, and it was a wonderful time. So if you didn't get to participate, we'll do it again, and hopefully you guys can really chime in, and they'll answer your questions if you have any questions. It was a really good time.
It was really nice because, they're in campaign mode, so they were out trying to meet us. It's not like they're in a session where they're overwhelmed and they're so busy that you can barely get 2 seconds of their time. And it seemed like they were all very cool, relaxed, wanting to talk. And I think most of them, we went a little bit over, which was just fine. But it was, that kind of conversation. But Doc, I got to tell you something interesting as far as those meet and greets. I'll never forget 10 years ago when I got started with the legislative side of TCA, and I would go to the Capitol. I could count on my two hands the number of friends we had on the House and Senate side, and the number of offices that I was visiting on a regular basis. It was so exciting because I actually looked at the list of Meet the Candidates this past go round, and we've doubled just from 2 years ago, last session, we've doubled our Senate list, and our House list was almost 40% bigger than it was just 2 years ago. And so it's exciting to see over the last 10 years, we've gone from 10 to 12 friends to now over 78 legislators that we are directly connected with. And that's one of the biggest goals, one of the biggest reasons why we've seen the amazing success year after year, the last 3 sessions that we've been there, the last 6 years. And, historic year in 2017, and then, the discrimination bill in 2019, 2015 with saving the sports physical. It's definitely been an amazing year. And I would say Meet the Candidates is kind of the foundation of that. But also seeing there about PAC fundraisers. And we have the doctors, they hear about CDI, they hear about PAC, and this year, both of them were kind of happening just back to each other. So can you give us a little breakdown of the difference between PAC and CDI and kind of what those funds are used for? Sure.
The PAC fundraiser, the one that we just went through, PAC money is that's not the TCA. That is the TCA's Political Action Committee, 2 separate animals. And that money is earmarked to be spent on our fundraising for legislatures. So we donate this money to lawmakers who are friendly towards us and who are willing to stick their neck out to help us pass these bills. And while the donations to the individual politicians aren't, they're not huge, every little amount counts. And thank you to everybody who participated in that PAC fundraiser. Without those funds, we're basically not going to be seen or heard. So it requires money to keep the ball rolling. And I know it's difficult to, open the emails and see that you got to donate some more money, but I'm in the practicing world just like everybody else. But if you don't support your profession by doing that, somebody's going to take your profession from you. So we have to be very diligent on being able to give that money, and every little amount is appreciated. So thanks everybody who did donate, and we're going to have to do it again in 2 more years. So know that it's going to happen. For the CDI fund, that is the TCA, and the CDI has to do with things that we do to better ourselves, our profession. So it will help with pays our lobbyists, for one. It keeps us on the straight path and keeps them in the know of all things legal as it pertains to our profession. It will help build our new strategic plan, and it keeps us moving forward as a state agency, which ultimately helps us as a profession.
And Doc, that CDI goes towards kind of one of the other big parts of what we do with our advocacy, which is our protecting the legal challenges that continuously for the last 12 years have been nonstop against our profession. And that's how we pay for all those legal battles as well. Is that not correct?
Yeah, how could I forget about that? That's unfortunately where a bulk of that money goes. So hopefully all that nonsense is going to stop eventually, and they'll one day perhaps leave us alone. Our big battle heard by the Supreme Court, and we're waiting for that one to come out. And that's where a lot of our CDI money went, is to pay for the top-notch attorneys. If you guys didn't watch that live, or go back and watch it on YouTube or wherever that is, I think it's YouTube where that's posted. Our lawyer did just a great job. That was money well spent. I'm sorry we had to spend it to defend ourselves. We know we're right. But he did, Matt Wood did a fantastic job. And again, our CDI funds had to pay for that.
I think everybody that contributed really felt like their money went to good cause, especially after watching that. That was an amazing hearing, and especially to see Matt Wood and the TBC attorney do such an amazing job in representing our profession. At the same time, the MD attorney had really nothing to argue other than, well, we just should have that right.
Right. Yeah. So money well spent on our part. Sorry, again, we had to spend our money that way, but money well spent.
Sorry, Doc, let's get back to our amazing goals. Sorry, as you mentioned, I get excited about this legislative stuff and go on little side notes, but sorry, I'm gonna put you back on track here.
Back on to goal number 3, where again, we're talking about legislative and political folks in your office. We would ultimately like to film testimonials of these officials, talking about how much better they're doing under your care. And of course, you get approval for that, and that will also feed into our goal number 1, where we will have these testimonial resources available. And again, our TCA office will answer any of the questions pertaining to that, as to how to get them that information, etc. Additionally, the TCA lobbyists and the legislative teams are a good source of information for us when it comes time for these testimonials. We will, they might know, or the lobbyists will know the legislatures, and if their treating doctor has provided that information, we can reach out to the treating doctor and ask the treating doctor then, is it possible to perhaps get a testimonial from state rep so-and-so? So if you need help with that, we can help you in that arena as well.
Fantastic. All right.
I just want to share one thing about how we came up with the strategic plan. In the past, the strategic plan seemed to be geared more towards like internal TCA goals. And this time we really strive to focus on how it's going to help all the chiropractors in Texas and all of our patients and get more patients in our doors. So we hope that you see that through our goals, that we really tried to make this a statewide thing to help everyone.
Great point, Dr. Alayna. Also, can you clarify for us, so different strategic plans kind of are geared towards different timelines. There's 2-year ones, 3 years on, 5, 10, 15. What was kind of the TCA goal as far as this plan was concerned?
This plan is more a 2-year plan. Every goal that we had set has some sort of timeline, which is relatively quick, 3-6 months. By the new year, hopefully you'll see maybe this website or definitely the rubric to submit testimonials and things like that. We've already started with goal number 3 with all of our PAC events that we had. So we are on track to get this going and really spearhead it forward for the next year or 2.
Nice. And just to clarify, the reason we did that was the fact that we basically had the next 3 presidents, or the current and the next 2 presidents involved in that. Actually, we had previous presidents and potentially future presidents involved in that conversation. But the goal was really to have us focused and really try to kind of put a lot of this stuff that we're starting, or we've already started over the summer on many of these tasks, but try to kind of bring it into a completion by the time Dr. Lawson kind of completes his time with TCA, correct?
Yeah, we wanted to make these goals attainable, achievable, and things that you guys are going to see TCA is doing. Awesome. Yeah, hopefully you guys have already seen some of that in action. Definitely to meet the pack. We've already started some great conversations with a lot of different organizations, including some insurance companies. And I would say the video is behind the scenes. We're working on that one. That's probably the only one that we haven't kind of kicked off as far as what people can see, but it's kind of all the preparation behind the scene is what's kind of happening right now with that. Doc, what's your favorite part of this plan? I know we all love all of it, and but what would you say is kind of the one that really excites you the most? I love patient care. I love educating patients. I love getting every single person to see a chiropractor. So definitely that first goal of just, getting more patients in our offices. That's what it's all about, guys. You know that. That's why we're here. That's why we do what we do. We're here to help people, and every single person should have a chiropractor and should be seeing a chiropractor regularly. So let's make that another, TCA goal and strategic plan for hopefully, the future.
Nice. All right. So now we got all this great info of what TCA is doing. How do we get there? What can you guys do to help? What can we all do to kind of help push this forward? Is I think pretty much going to be the next question moving forward. And as that's coming up real quick, for anybody paying attention, we just talked about the Supreme Court case. Dr. Hollingsworth, thank you for doing that. I saw he posted it in the chat area. If any of you guys want to go check out the court hearing, if you guys still haven't, get out there, and it's posted on there, and Dr. Tom can get you guys all the info if you guys don't have it. But let's talk about what to do and how can we get this accomplished? Well, guys, as you guys know, we are a member-led organization. We are ran by our members. Really, the 3 of us, all we're doing is just kind of the day-to-day operation, or, not day-to-day operation, that's Jeff's job, but kind of helping guide him in that process. But really, we're getting our direction from the board and from our members. So if there is something you want to see, if there is more you want to see, there is something you want to see tweaked, communicate with us. Get involved with your local district. That's how every one of us got started. For you guys in District A, Central Texas, you guys have seen me for years. I know Houston's seen Alayna, and Dr. Bill Lawson's been around before I even became a chiropractor. He's been kind of helping people. So it's great. Get out there, get involved. And if you want to see change, get involved and make that change. I can tell you guys from my perspective, that's why I got involved. I was not going to be okay with us losing our diagnosis rights and our neuro rights and all these things. And I wanted the TCA to step up more and do more with it. And that was kind of my goal. And, you may have very different goals. Some of you guys may have insurance goals and other things, but get involved. And if you already are a member, then please help us grow the membership. Especially as you guys see, we kind of had a three-prong approach to our legislative battle that's coming up. First was the legal battle that we kind of held and kind of fought during September in the Supreme Court. Then was the legislative side of changing this, which is all the meet and greets that we hosted during the month of September, October, all the way up to Election Day. And then the next phase is going to be going to Austin and actually changing laws. Now, one of the questions, guys, that is typically asked, what percentage of chiropractors do you guys represent in Texas? That's why this membership question is so important. And I'm going to really encourage everybody for the next 2 months to really put your focus on this. It's also the holidays. A lot of friends may have had a hard time. This is an awesome Christmas gift or a holiday gift. What better gift than, to a fellow chiropractor than getting them more involved in our profession and fighting for our rights. So please help us grow the membership. My goal is to get that up to 30% by January. So when we're over there, we're talking to legislators, we can say that we're at least representing 30% of the chiropractors. And that would put us ahead of all the other national state agencies within the chiropractic profession. And so we think that's a good starting point. I think we're about 26% right now. So it's not a huge leap. It's very accomplishable, but we do need y'all's help. So I'm going to ask you guys to please in the next 2 months, help us recruit as many members as you can. Get them in touch with TCA. If they have any doubts, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to the execs. Feel free to reach out to your local district leaders or the state leaders. We're all here to assist you in this process. The second part of it is really what we've been talking about during the presentation all along. Spread the word of the profession. And really the profession in Texas is TCA. That's who's really guiding our profession and protecting our rights. So please talk to your friends about all the amazing things we've been doing with TCA over the last 3 sessions. And now with the new strategic plan, what we're gonna do to really build up chiropractic in the state of Texas. Third thing you can do, provide personal contacts. You heard Dr. Bill Lawson talk about connecting with the lobbyist, and you also heard Dr. Alayna talk about the videos. So if you have any, connecting with the business owners. So if you guys have any business connections or political connections, please reach out to the TCA. Let us know that. If you don't feel like you're getting a run around, reach out to me directly. I think everybody has been able to reach me on Facebook. It's a great way. If not, just give me a call. My office number is 512-531-9100. I'm always available to help our profession move forward. Love to hear from you guys and talk with you all. Fourth thing you can do is the thing that, now Dr. Alayna was talking about with the videos, patient testimonials. Let's start thinking about patient testimonials. Who's gonna make those great testimonials? Politicians are great. But just so you guys know, athletes, I know a lot of us treat a lot of athletes, especially in the major cities, Dallas, Houston area. You have the professional teams. San Antonio, you have the basketball team. So let's kind of, for all you guys that are connecting with those really well-known names, we want to know about it. There's also a lot of amazing veterans out there or heroes out there that wounded veterans that their life has been completely expanded with chiropractic care. So many of them were limited after their injuries, and chiropractors have helped them reach goals that they didn't think were possible after their injuries. We'd love to hear about those stories and know about those. And then, obviously, most important, pay attention, which I don't have to say that to anybody on this call. Obviously, if you guys are on this webinar, you're paying attention already, but let's get our friends involved. Let's get them paying attention too, because this next session with the limitations we're going to have with COVID and access to the Capitol and access to legislators, it is going to take every one of us in the state working together to really make these goals happen. And we're excited about it. It's been too long. I've missed all everybody. I've been cooped up 10 months of not seeing my colleagues and friends. So we're really looking forward to it. And I'm going to give you guys some amazing dates and times that we're looking forward to seeing you guys soon. Dr. Alayna, Dr. Lawson, anything you guys want to add on this one?
Listening. We're really excited for everyone to be a part of this, not just, TCA board members, every single chiropractor in Texas.
Awesome.
Something I would like to make sure that our listeners and the folks watching understand exactly how this is meant to help us. Through all the information that we've given you tonight in 3 different arenas and how we're going to implement this, the ultimate goal is to get more people into your offices by expanding our knowledge to the general population and to those who have the power to provide coverage for their people, and for the insurance companies to understand what it is that we're doing. In this way, it'll open our doors. It'll allow more people into our offices. It'll allow the chiropractor to gain access to a larger volume of people. It'll allow the chiropractor to receive higher reimbursements for treating these people, and it'll knock down barriers. And what has it done in the past, being a TCA member, and how have the monies that we've raised to pay for in the political action committee, how has it influenced us? Let's go back to 2015 and look at the bills that have been passed as a direct result of us meeting our legislatures and helping fund their campaigns. They become friendly with us, and they have passed an extreme number of bills that have been nothing but positive for us. Without the diagnosis bill being passed 4 years ago, was that 4 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Where would we be today? We'd be somewhere in the appeals process, I guess, with the threat of taking the word diagnosis from us. If you can't diagnose a patient, you can't treat them on your own. It's going to have to be referred to. So, and I think we all know where that would go. So, and I say this just for clarification. Know that all of what we're doing has been introduced for the betterment of every single chiropractor in the state, not just a TCA member. We do want you to become a member. It's the right thing to do. It helps us. It helps all chiropractors move along. Our membership is somewhere around that 30% mark. Or it's less than that. We want it 30% during this administration. I think Dr. Alayna and I have discussed 40% or higher is our ultimate goal. So I hope I might have clarified some of that. I've seen some questions come through, and the question specifically is asking, well, how is this going to get patients in the door? I hope I clarified that for you.
I'd like to piggyback on that a little bit too. One of the docs that's kind of posted on here. His first comment was that he's been in practice for 42 years and this battle's been going on. Well, Doc, I actually have a cartoon from 1916 of BJ Palmer fighting the AMA. This has been a battle that's been there since the day chiropractic started, and it's really not going to end. That's why it's so important to have somebody like the TCA on our side that's going to continue protecting our profession. Realistically, you're absolutely right. It's been going on for 42 years. I would say it's been going on for over 100 years. And it's going to continue going as long as we continue to succeed. But here's the thing. If you think about it, we are the only doctors that directly compete with medical doctors, the biggest profession as far as lobby is concerned in the state other than pharmaceuticals and maybe oil. And we've been able to survive. We've been able to survive because of exactly what we've been doing. Now, there's also a lot of conversation in there about marketing. This is exactly what we're talking about, Doc. There's many forms of marketing, and it's about getting the information out there. Now, you're absolutely right. If every doctor in the state, all 6,000 of them, donated $1,000 each, we could do enormous amount of marketing. But unfortunately, we're only getting 26% of membership. And most of those are, with the exception of maybe 10, 15, 20% of those docs are just doing the membership. They're not doing $1,000 a month. So you're absolutely right. If we had more money, we would love to do more marketing. And just so you know, TCA has been continuously marketing chiropractic. 2 years ago, we had a huge billboard throughout the state for several months. We worked with Foundation for Chiropractic Progress, and we had that on the highway on 35 as you were driving through it. We've had print ads in newspapers. We've had ads in local papers. We're constantly promoting on social media. And we're trying the best we can. And if you have better marketing ideas that can be budgeted and afforded, hey, please get involved with the local district. We'd love to hear from you, Doc. 42 years, I'm sure you have plenty of experience, plenty of great ideas. Not only you, we'd love to hear from more doctors like you. And the place to kind of get that and kind of work that up the chain of command is really at the local district. Not sure where you live, but we have districts throughout all the state of Texas. So please get involved, and your local president and vice president, and we can kind of help guide that along. And we would love to have your assistance. We're always looking for more volunteers with great knowledge. Marketing is one of those areas. We would definitely love some help. So if you feel very passionate about that, please send out an email to Jeff. I'm sure he's going to put it in his in the chat box right now. Jeff, if you could add your email in there, and please email Jeff and volunteer. And we'd love to have your assistance and your ideas on that marketing as well. So Dr. Lawson, I've been kind of trying to look at a few of these. Do you have any other questions that were kind of popped up in here that we can address? Or any more comments and statements?
Sure. There's a question from Dr. Chris Michelin concerning the lawsuit, TMA and TCA. And basically the comment and the question concerns how in the commentary from the TMA attorney, he addresses the chiropractic neurology diplomate as a 6-week program, a 6-weekend program. We all know that it's not a 6-weekend program. And the doctor's wanting to know if there is a chance of us getting more information back to the court for further consideration.
Awesome. Sorry, just trying to flip through, make sure we get all of them answered. If you guys have any questions that you'd like addressed, please feel free to put it in there now. While those are coming in, we're going to kind of continue on here.
Let me, I'd like to follow up that question I just read. That needs an answer. Dr. Michelin, if you're still on the line there watching or listening, the judges have full access to what our diplomates, what they study and how long the courses are. And if they have interest in looking at that further, they'll sniff that one out rather quickly. I know that I watched the video as well. I watched it live and there was no rebuttal to that. And that would have been a great time to address that. That's not a 6-weekend course to become a neurodiplomate. The judges will, if they have questions about it, they will ask directly. We don't have access to give them anything at this point. That's closed for us.
Thank you for clarifying that, Doc. Doctor, I'm not going to use the last name. We're just going to keep it Dr. John. Dr. John, actually, Dr. Alayna is in Houston. So if you're in Houston, connect with them. We have an awesome new director there, Dr. Lawson Howard. He's phenomenal, and he can get you in touch with Dr. Alayna. And yeah, we'd love to talk with you more about that if you're interested. Also, we've been talking about the amazing CDI impact that Dr. Bill Lawson talked about a couple slides ago. I want to thank you guys because this was a record-breaking year. It's amazing that during 2020, with everything going on, we raised more money for PAC during the month of August, September than has ever been raised during a 2-month cycle. And a big thank you to 2 really big donors. First, the joint franchise. They got so many of their franchisees here in Texas to step up and contribute to that. And it was done so quickly. So I want to really give them a special thank you. We talked to them at the beginning, middle of August. And man, during the month of August and September, they really stepped it up. So thank you to all the franchisees and all the doctors at the joint. And then a huge, huge, huge thank you to Parker University, Dr. Bill Morgan, and the Board of Trustees there. They went amazingly to help us out so we can fight these legal battles. Your contribution is greatly appreciated. That allowed us to be able to fight those battles and pay the people that we needed to pay for, the attorneys and everything else, so the executives and the TCA could continue focusing forward and looking forward and not trying to look backwards to try to raise funds for those. So thank you. And then there was also a lot of individual doctors that contributed to that. Thank you, every one of you guys that really stepped up. There is over 100 names, so we would be here all night if I go through all the names. But if you have donated, you can go on the clicker and it has everybody's name that's donated. So I'd like to thank everybody on that list, including, this was really exciting, guys. When Dr. Lawson started getting the word out, I was really impressed to see we had a medical doctor and I want to say 2 to 3 attorneys that contributed to our PAC and CDI. That's how much our profession is out there helping people, that even though the TMA is fighting us for money, the medical doctors understand the benefit that we have for our patients and what we can do in the healthcare profession. And attorneys understand that without us, it's going to be impossible to deal with a lot of those whiplash injuries, and they're going to have to do so many unnecessary surgeries that the attorneys are appreciative of every one of you guys and the work you guys do too. So it's always really important that it's not just the chiropractors and the chiropractic profession that we're talking to. It's every one of your patients. It's every one of the doctors that works with you. It's every one of the imaging facilities that you refer to. It's every one of the attorneys you guys refer to. It's the colleges that we graduated from. It's the businesses that we're going to work with as chiropractors. So, and where we spend our money. So don't think that we just need to talk to chiropractors about growing our profession. Let's talk to, and that's really what this presentation and the direction of TCA's now shifting is. We're not just talking to chiropractors anymore. We're talking to Texans about the benefit of chiropractic. And that's something that every one of us should be able to get excited about. Dr. Alayna, Dr. Lawson?
That's it.
That's all the information that I have. It's going to be a really exciting next couple of years. So thank you guys for sticking in there with us. We have a lot to look forward to.
Dr. John, I see a lot of chat continuing to come in, questions. Feel free to actually befriend me on Facebook. I'd be more than happy to talk with you offline and kind of answer a lot of those questions you have and those comments about the marketing. Would love to chat with you about that. Anyone else that has any of those inputs, feel free to reach out to us directly. We'd love to help you out. But before you go, some really, really important dates for you guys to remember and mark on your calendar. First, tomorrow, everybody that's a new grad, Next Gen DC webinar series. The first one is starting off tomorrow. This is kind of a semi-new thing that we've started, the Next Gen Chiros. This kind of includes all the Chiros within their last 6 months to a year of graduating, all the way to about 5 years of their first year of practice. And this is basically the TCA's mentoring program, where our goal is to go ahead and really help coach all those new docs up. And I'm really excited about this. I'm really excited about the first one happening tomorrow. And the chairwoman of this, Dr. Mees, she's also she's just outside of that 5-year marker herself, I believe, but she's an amazing new chiropractor to the profession, has been doing some amazing things. So I'm really excited about what she's going to be kicking off with that. And I look forward to seeing all you guys tomorrow at noon. You can register online with TCA, and here to have a really lengthy speaker named Jahadi tomorrow as well. So I'll try to shorten everything tomorrow and keep it nice and brief for you guys. But look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow on the Next Gen. Also, we have a HIPPO virtual seminar coming up. That's going to be on January 30th, 2021, end of the January. Let's get out of 2020, start the year fresh. Make sure you got all your HIPAA compliance stuff updated. There has been some changes, so you want to make sure you take that class, get updated, get your CE credits taken care of. Next one after that is going to be the TCA Winter Virtual Conference. So as you guys know, we usually do a big winter conference in Lubbock every year. And we also have the TCLC that we usually do on the legislative year. Obviously, with COVID and the limitations on trying to connect in person, we've done these virtual all year, and the midwinter is also going to be virtual. We got some amazing speakers lined up, and you definitely want to get there. The great thing about it, as much as we love Lubbock, but you don't have to travel all the way up there to take these classes. You can sit in your home with your pajamas, and get all the CE hours that you need and keep your practice and your license in good standing. Now, the one I'm most excited about is Chiro Texpo 2021. This is where I'm looking forward to seeing everybody. This is our first face-to-face planned event since COVID. So as I'm started out, I've missed everybody so much, and I'm so looking forward to seeing all my fellow chiropractors. And in June 11th through the 13th, we're gonna be in person in Allen, Texas. So really convenient for the DFW, but essential where, you know, everybody from Austin, Panhandle, East, West can kind of come to the middle. And let's plan on getting everybody together June 11th and 12th and 13th. Let's make this the biggest Texpo we've ever had. I know everybody's tired of being cooped up and ready to connect with fellow chiropractors. And that's also when we're going to be swearing in Dr. Alayna into her presidency year, and Dr. Bill Lawson to his VP position. So it'll be a great event, and we look forward to seeing you guys there. I think registration may not have started, but I know Jeff is working on getting those registrations up probably by the beginning of the year, because we plan on this being a really big event in 2021. So we're really excited about that. Dr. Lawson, Dr. Alayna, did I forget any?
There's just two more questions I want to address. As far as the testimonial videos, someone asked if there would be any way to keep information evidence-based. We are going to have a rubric, and we do have the Scientific Affairs Committee as well as the PR Committee who are going to be reviewing everything that is submitted to make sure that it is something that we want to use. And then another attendee asked if we've tapped into the medical doctors and neurologists who are on board with the multidisciplinary approaches. We have not. That's what we need you guys for. That's what we're sharing this information about, so that you can hopefully get some testimonials and videos for them and submit them so that we're able to use them.
We also have a question under the chat box where a future doc is asking if the TCA has something on their website as far as job postings for students. And if not, can we get one put up? Well, we do have a box on our website where you can look for any prospective jobs that may be advertised. And there's probably a way for you to advertise on that yourself, that you're looking for work and what specifically you're looking for.
Yeah, if you're having a little difficulty with that, please contact the TCA office. We have amazing staff there. Two of the probably the best staff you can ask for in Texas, and they are so helpful in helping you guys do that. And if not, just send Jeff an email directly, and I'm sure he'll get that taken care of. Thank you, Jeff. He can read my mind. He knows what I'm going to be saying. So there you go. You can get on there at chirotexas.org. That goes directly to TCA office and Jeff, and they can address that. Or you can just call them directly at 512-477-9292, and they can assist you with that as well. Great stuff. All right. Do we have anything else that we're skipping over? All right. Well, docs, it's been an amazing year. It's been a very challenging year, but it's great that in such a challenging year, we've been able to overcome so many obstacles that have been in our way, and not just overcome them, but really excel and overcome them and beyond what our expectations were. Everything from the court case to the CDI to the fundraising, and we are excited about the 2021 and what that has the potential to do for our profession here in Texas, starting off with the legislative session, the first 6 months, and then continuing with all these amazing goals that we've been discussing on this call. And we look forward to seeing more and more of you getting involved, getting down in the trenches with us, starting at the grassroots and helping us continue to move our profession forward here in Texas. And we're going to be doing these once a quarter with you. So we'll look forward to seeing you guys in 2021, sometime in that first quarter between January, February, and March, based on how the legislative process is going. We'll be doing another one of these, and we look forward to catching up with you and bringing you guys some updates and talking about all the amazing things we're doing to move forward on these goals. So I'd like to wrap up with thanking everybody that's joined us tonight, everybody that's going to be watching this on replay. Thank you to Jeff and his amazing staff at TCA, our lobbyists that have helped get us here, our amazing TCA leadership. I'm so excited about the amazing TCA leadership that we have, and my two amazing executives. Thank you, guys. Thank you for everybody that's joining us. And thank you for getting out there and helping people and helping change lives. That's the most important part of our profession. So thank you guys for getting out there and helping people and making their life better. So have a great night. Have a great Thanksgiving, awesome Christmas, Hanukkah, New Year, and we look forward to seeing you guys in 2021.
Good night, everybody.